Okay, Grandma's got another one. Miggy and Tiggy, a book about overcoming jealousy. Tiggy just got a new puppy. It was hoppy and floppy and fun. He played with it under the shade tree. It could rumpus and wrestle and run. Miggy watched from his treehouse. All he had was a cat. He'd always wanted a puppy like Tiggy's, in fact. Tiggy could see Miggy watching. It added a lot to his fun. Miggy was soon very angry. He shouted, "Your puppy is dumb." At night, Tiggy took out his puppy and walked him around on a rope. Miggy said, "Hey, can I pet him?" Tiggy just smiled and said, "Nope." Tiggy was proud of his puppy. He dressed it up in old clothes. He pulled it around in a wagon, going wherever he chose. "Get off my lawn," shouted Miggy. "I'll feed your dumb dog to my cat." "Ha," snickered Tiggy at Miggy. "I would sure like to see that." The more Miggy watched Tiggy's puppy, the more and more angry he grew. At nighttime, he lay awake thinking of mean things he wanted to do. There were hundreds of things Miggy thought of, all of them nasty and mean. But suddenly one idea hit him, a trick that was clever and keen. He got out of bed with his flashlight and snuck out as soft as a mouse. He climbed across the fence to the puppy, who was tied up inside his house. "Here, little puppy," called Miggy. He untied the rope from the pup. "You're free, little doggy," he giggled, "so run away. Go, giddy up." Miggy was snickering softly as Puppy ran off in the night. But just then the dog saw his kitty and thought that it looked good to bite. Puppy ran after the kitty. He barked and he howled as he ran, and Miggy ran quickly behind them. This wasn't part of his plan. The noises awoke all the neighbors, and Tiggy ran out to the street. He just caught a glimpse of his puppy running behind Kitty's feet. "You untied my puppy," yelled Tiggy. He ran up to Miggy to fight. "You shouldn't have teased me," said Miggy. "I think this serves you right." The two boys had just started scrapping when both of their fathers ran out. They pulled the boys off each other and shouted, "Now, boys, cut it out." "Miggy just untied my puppy," said Tiggy, beginning to cry. "Tiggy was teasing me, Daddy," said Miggy, who had a black eye. Their fathers both looked at them sadly. The problem was quite clear to see. It's something that everyone knows of. It's something we call jealousy. "See what you've done," said their fathers. "Tiggy, you've been very mean. You wanted to make Miggy jealous. It worked very well, you can see. But Miggy, lad, you've been unthankful, for you have a pet of your own. You chose to get jealous of Tiggy while you had a kitten at home." Miggy and Tiggy felt bad now. Both were to blame for their fight. "I'm sorry," they said to each other. "We'll be friends and starting tonight." And now it was late in the nighttime. Their pets simply were not around. Their dads told them, "Look in the morning. We're sure that your pets will be found." Early the very next morning, Miggy and Tiggy got up. They got on their bikes and went riding, looking for Kitty and Pup. Miggy and Tiggy made posters and put them on trees by the road. But no one had found Pup or Kitty, just turtles, a rat, and a toad. Later they went to the dog pound, hoping their pets would be there. One puppy looked just like Tiggy's, except it had bows in its hair. Miggy and Tiggy were sad now. Kitty and Puppy were gone. They gave up and sat by a shade tree, skipping flat rocks in a pond. Miggy had just started crying when suddenly he got a plan. "Wait here," he shouted to Tiggy, and off down the street Miggy ran. Tiggy just sat for a moment, thinking of what he might do. Then all of a sudden he jumped up, and he had a clever plan too. Only a few moments later, Miggy and Tiggy came back. Miggy was holding a package, and Tiggy was holding a sack. "Here is a present," said Miggy, handing the box to his friend. "I got one for you too," said Tiggy. Now this is a nice way to end. Then Tiggy opened his present. What do you think Tiggy found? If it wasn't that puppy, the one that had seen at the pound. Tiggy said, "Thanks a lot, Miggy. It's your turn to open your sack." Out of the bag jumped a kitten. It pushed Miggy down on his back. "Oh, thank you," said Miggy to Tiggy. "It looks like we had the same plan. I think we should both make a promise. Let's never get jealous again." They carried the new cat and puppy, home to show Mother and Pop, but something they saw by the doghouse made the boys suddenly stop. Guess who was there by the shade tree, napping like nothing was wrong? Kitty and Puppy, you guessed it. They'd been in the yard all along. Now you'll find Miggy and Tiggy, each with a dog and a cat. They play, but they never get jealous, and you know the reason for that. Love is patient and kind, never jealous or envious, never boastful or proud. 1 Corinthians 13:4. The end. There you go. Love you guys.